enough, Obi? I ask. I don't, he says. We'll have to keep an eye on them, see what they do next. If they look like they're growing towards us in the morning, we'll do it again. If the weather stays like this, we'll be all right. I ask him what he means. Well, we've had dry weather for days and days now. If it starts to rain, then it'll wash the salt away. Then there'll be nothing to stop them. But it could rain any time, I say, thinking of the days and days of rain that leaked from the sky just before the Bluches arrived. Then I remember those days when you wake up to blue sky and sunshine, and by lunchtime there are grey clouds and deep puddles everywhere. Up to now, we've been lucky with the weather, but it could change at any moment. We've got a lot of salt, Addy, says Obi. And remember, someone else will find out that it works against them too. I don't say anything, my mind still pondering the heavy rain clouds that until recently had choked our skies. Then they'll come and get us. They surely will. I know Obi is trying to make me feel better, but his voice sounds a little different as he's speaking to me. He's too insistent, too bright, and his eyes look sad even though he's smiling with his mouth. It seems very much as if he's trying to hide something. The following morning, I climb onto my windowsill and look out to see if the salt is working against the Bluches. It is. There is an invisible line that they aren't able to cross. The sky looks blue. It will be another fine day. There won't be any rain today. There won't be any rain today. If I think it enough times, it will come true. I've been thinking more about Mum. I've worked it out, and Mum started going out about a year ago, just after the day I found her hurt and crying in the flat. Ben said that his wife hadn't been outside for 7 years. That's much longer than Mum. I can't stop thinking that Mum must be a bit better than Ben's wife was. Maybe she's not as ill as before. I think if we were rescued, then she would come outside. Also, if she didn't want to come, then there's lots of us to carry her out. Obviously, there's me and Obi, but Dory would help, and I think Ben would too. She would have to come. It wouldn't be the same as when Ben's wife had to go outside. I'd make sure of it. Dory has seen to herself when I go downstairs for breakfast that day. She says we'll have something special for dinner tonight, but she won't tell me what. It's a surprise. There's no sign of Obi or Ben. Dory says that they've eaten already and they are doing something with the water tank on the roof. My face must look worried because the next thing she says is, "Don't worry. You know what? They'll be careful. And you've heard about Obi's theory that the spores are not flying high over the ground." We eat peanut butter on crackers that morning, and I have a little cupful of tinned fruit each too. I have a funny thing about tinned fruit because I always think it tastes a little bit metallic, even when no one else does. So I eat my cup quickly and try to swallow it down without chewing too much. After I take Mum her breakfast, I go to the floor I haven't searched yet to start collecting food. The first flat I go into is really smelly, and I only find a couple of tins of dog food at the back of one of the cupboards. I don't even have enough food to fill my rucksack, so I go into the next flat along. Straight away, I can tell that the person who used to live here liked making cakes. There were lots of bags of flour and little red tins of cocoa powder and cartons of eggs and little plastic packets of hundreds and hundreds and thousands and silver balls. I stop to look at the photographs hanging on the wall. There is always a pretty woman in each photograph and 2 little boys. They are younger than me, and they have dark curly hair and big brown eyes. They are smiling in every photo, and it makes me wonder where they are now and if they are still smiling as much as they are in the photos. There are a few photos up in our flat of me and Mum. There's one when I'm a tiny baby, and Mum's smiling so hard it looks like her cheeks might crack. There's another one when it's my birthday and I'm sitting on Mum's lap in front of a white birthday cake. They make me feel sad when I see them because things are so different now. There aren't any photos from recently. Everyone knows you don't take photos if you look unhappy in them. There is too much food to carry from this kitchen, so I start dividing it into piles in front of the window. It will make it easier for Dory when I bring it down. I put all the flour in one pile and sweet things in another, and in the end I have about 7 different heaps of various foods. I will need to take several trips to carry this. But just before I start loading it up, something catches my eye from out of the window. I think I see something move outside, from behind some of the trees. It is something or someone just running out of sight to hide. I look again and stare at the little spot where I think I saw something. I see again a flicker of movement in one of the bushes there, as if someone is hiding just behind it. I look again and again, but I can't see anything more after that. I could convince myself that there is nothing out there, but I don't. I keep looking, running my eyes over and over the same patch of bushes, trying to find out what moved there. I feel sure there is someone there, looking up at the tower right now. Perhaps they've got a mask on like Obi had, but are running low on air. I think maybe they need to come into the tower, just like Ben and his wife did. I think maybe they need rescuing too. I know I'm not a hero. Nothing like a superhero in a shiny red cape who knows that they will save the day. I'm scared and worried, and I don't want to die. And I know I might do if I go out of the tower. But there is something bigger inside me that makes me turn and run to the door. There's a feeling I had when I sat next to Ben when he thanked me for giving him and Evie their last chance, and something else as well. It's not a feeling I've ever had before, really. It's just like a certainty that I know the right thing to do, and that is to try and save the person who is outside the tower. I know I can't waste time. I need to go to them straight away. Ben said that Evie had died in just moments in the open air. I suppose the person in the bushes doesn't have very much air left, or perhaps they are injured and can't walk the very last bit of the way to our block. Suppose this is our last chance. There is no time to go and find Obi or Dory or Ben. I run downstairs to the basement as quickly as I can. My legs are taking me down the steps so fast that I think they might crumble beneath me at any minute, but I don't fall. I make it all the way downstairs to Obi's room. I pick up the tattered rucksack with one of the silver canisters we found all those days ago inside it. The mask is still attached to it. I fiddle with the top of it just like I saw Obi do, and I hear a small hissing sound coming from the mask. I put it over my mouth and breathe in. It's working fine. I struggle to put the rucksack on my back. It's too big for me, really, but I can manage it. Then I start taping up the mask just like I did when Obi put it on. It's harder now I've got it on myself, and I keep getting the tape tangled so it sticks to itself, and then I have to start again. Finally, I'm putting on the old swimming goggles and tying scarves around my face as best as I can. I am ready.
Who is it?
Oh.